evidence from the Anglo-Saxon period in Oxford, including certain points. Various ways that war impacted the story of Oxford against the city to the wider world. So, for example, various Belgian refugees came to Oxford during the Great War, World War I, and many Oxford soldiers were wounded. The town hall was also a hospital. A portrait of Sir Thomas Browne, the MP for Oxford, from 1722 to 1759. This block is made out of various bones, including sheep and cattle bones. From 1642 to 1644, all members within Oxford and various kinds like these were printed. This weapon was commonly used by soldiers in the Civil War in Oxford. This dairy cart is owned by Oxford's oldest established dairy. It's an old-age dairy. These are some famous people that have played the town hall in Oxford and other areas and other venues. Various types of Oxford transport, such as long carriages that would go on the rivers in Oxford, and also like minibuses, and obviously the Great Western Railway. This town was various old areas like the medieval cellar, the assembly room, the public library, police station itself. This was a typical Oxford police uniform. And basically when people were arrested, they'd be taken to the town hall, where they'd be put in a cell, put on trial, then taken to prison basically. The Oxford comma was typically used at the end of the list before the and or but. This is an example of a ride which is in Giles Fair, and has a big up of PCS, which looks very good. It occupies all of Giles in early September, and in the 1700s it was a toy fair before this ride was a small children's fair in the 1800s. And then it basically became bigger and bigger. This looks like a sort of merry-go-round. It's very detailed model, you know. It's researching to see. I think they made most of it.
So a market committee comprising members.
The pubs in Oxford inspired writers like Tolkien. Welcome. A cafe that's over 100 years old. These certain diseases that were discovered around the world. And here are some dominoes made out of to run the license test. So this box was used to create only 4 pieces, then it became a box which produced 64. And then recently we developed one for growing rows, produced 1,600 pieces, which should all be tested, meaning that the vaccine could come about quicker. This museum was founded by these 2 people, Robert Gunther and Lewis Evans. And Lewis Evans put his collection in this museum, and Robert Gunther got the building. It's the old Australian Museum. These are early models of the solar system, and this one shows it all the way, basically the extent of solar system known in 1800, so it's all the way to Uranus. These are various scientific instruments that have been collected over the years, such as a snuff box. And these are working astronomical instruments, ranging from eyepieces to full-on telescopes, like a reflecting telescope. This stock was made in the 1600s. That's one of the earliest pendulum clocks in England. This is the interior of the clock, photographed from the outside, and it uses various clocks to allow the bells to be hit and to make the pendulum work. Having some very old basements. There are portraits of astronomers down there. These are more early astronomical inventions, including an early model of the solar system and early clocks down here, with some even showing their workings. General physics machinery, telegraphy, and other experiments. These experimental cabinets were used for storing instruments and basically doing experiments, and were quite common.
Einstein's ball is next.
There's a guy called Marconi who invented telephones, and so the 2 telephones on board Titanic stabilised 705 people, and they were operated by people working for this company. And these are early radios. This guy called Harry Moseley worked with Ernest Rutherford and became a researcher. He managed to find the number of protons in each element. These are some of the things used by him. This is Einstein's blackboard from his second lecture in Oxford on the theory of relativity. Other scientific instruments, like a list of carbolic strain, using a type to create an aseptic atmosphere in which medical operations could be undertaken without the risk of wound infection. These are really old cameras that utilised chemistry and would also bring out photos basically. To test for a disease called TCV in Oxford, some people took part in a study in which they had to swallow a typhoid shot, which was basically the disease, but before they were medically examined, had to drink bicarbonate to neutralise stomach acid, which would have just meant that they can digest stuff for a while. That would have been horrible. A woman called Dorothy Hodgkin managed to find the structure of penicillin by firing X-rays of crystals of penicillin and analysing the results of photographs. Once again, without the camera, or without discovery of X-rays, that wouldn't have been possible. This was actually a painting of the moon rather than an actual photo. Just went down the stairs from High Street and I came across this. Look at the size of this. Like a movie scene. And this is in Oxford.
All tickets are now sold out, but I think you can just wander in and out.
These are very old books. Handmade. This was an ivory depiction of Christ, and the face of Christ was kissed so much, but it bore smooth over time. In this library alone, there are 30 million books. Crazy. Each of these little pagodas, like the pagoda mountain at Alton Towers, contained a Buddhist spell. And Empress Shoutout of Japan ordered a production of 1 billion of them. 1,800 years old, my goodness. This is a medieval poetry book, one of only 4 medieval poetry books like this. This document here gave the East India English Company, trade company, the right to trade in Japan, and it had a stamp on it as well. 13 million printed books and manuscripts. This little manuscript was donated by Duke Humphrey of Gloucester. The manuscript notes were written in 1789. The book was written in 1502. This is the diagram on the shirt. That was one by someone going into battle. These are some early radios. This is the first edition of Radio Times. September 28th, 1923. This is the entrance to a Bodleian Library.
But they will have some people that come here.